Thanks for staying with us. COGTA Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa has committed to deploy more resources in the Eastern Cape to prevent the deaths of initiates in the province. Hlabisa made the commitment during a meeting with the provincial traditional leaders in East London, to find ways to curb the alarming deaths of initiates in the province. Remember, more than 370 initiates in the Eastern Cape have lost their lives while undergoing the traditional male circumcision since 2016. And during the previous summer initiation season, a total of 28 deaths have been recorded. COGTA Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa joins us now for this conversation. Minister, good evening to you and thank you so much for your time. Before we even get into some of what was said in your meeting yesterday, we were in conversation with Contralesa and they're unhappy. They feel that they were left out of the meeting, saying that they've taken a dim view of that meeting because it didn't seem to include their voice. Your take?
Good evening, Bongi. I'm sure I'm speaking to you for the first time in a new year. Compliments of the new year.
Thank you.
And
same
the viewers. To you. Indeed, Bongi, we had a meeting yesterday. The meeting between COGTA yesterday, it was between COGTA and their majesties, Okumkani, the king. Therefore, there is a follow-up meeting that will include all traditional leaders, headmen, headwomen, senior traditional leaders, in which Contralesa will be invited. It will be on the 22nd of February. The yesterday's meeting was COGTA and the kings. We did not include other people because it was a first point of entry to engage kings as custodians of culture and tradition in our communities, and in particular in Eastern Cape.
And when it comes then to, their take on this, they say that just their exclusion yesterday, means that you will not be able to deal with this issue of the deaths of initiates because they actually know what needs to be done. I know you say that there'll be a meeting on the 22nd, but they say that if you did not include them yesterday, then what were you talking about if they are not there and as the key people that want to then speak on this issue?
But Bongiwe, Contralesa knows. Kings, Contralesa is not the mouthpiece of kings. Contralesa will be invited on the 22nd of February. We do not want to mix issues. On the 22nd of February, we will be meeting all traditional leaders who are affiliated to Contralesa, the people who are hands-on in the initiation culture is the traditional institution, the actual people. We will engage the president of Contralesa and Contralesa in their space. But if you want to deal with the custodians of culture, no one would say if you spoke to the kings, you spoke to people who are not the relevant people. We will engage Contralesa at the right time in the lead up to the meeting on the 22nd, where Contralesa will be invited.
And the winter initiation season is fast approaching and, we've seen through various statements your department raising concern about the deaths of initiates. You are committing to deploy more resources in order to prevent further deaths. Which resources are these and what will they be doing to try and curb some of what we've seen?
We will prefer to not give in pieces, because as we met the kings yesterday, they indicated the issue of resources which the municipalities, the provincial government and national government should provide. and we are meeting the 1,400 people on the 22nd who are hands-on on the initiation. And the commitment we made to Kings yesterday is that the support they are talking about in terms of enabling the initiation schools to be a conducive environment is the commitment we made that we will provide whatever that is possible. But what you must remember, Bongiwe, there are initiation schools for more than 20 years. They produce zero death, winter and summer. So the issue of resources will not be a first issue that must be put as a prerequisite. The prerequisite is that schools must be registered. The people who are conducting the initiation culture must be suitably qualified. The communities must take a full responsibility of monitoring and visiting the initiation schools daily to ensure that alcohol, drug abuse is not the order of the day there, and also to ensure that our boys in the initiation schools are in a good state of health, and when need arise, referral must be done to hospitals. So now, a collaborative approach by all departments, health, municipalities, province, and national, we will provide the resources, but we will prefer to speak of a comprehensive resources after the 22nd meeting, once we've met the traditional leaders who are hands-on.
So I suppose then you and I will have to speak on just after the 22nd to see what do you come out with. But Minister, please allow me, if I may, just ask you to change hats slightly for us, please, and be the IFP president now, because there's a statement I saw this afternoon that reacts to the land expropriation bill, and I see the statement by the IFP is rejecting it. Why? Minister, just give me a please start again. We lost your audio a little bit.
I'm saying, Bongi, when you remember these acts were passed in the 6th administration, where the ruling party was having the majority to pass laws. But now there is no one single party with a majority rule to pass laws without consulting partners in the GNU, especially who had expressed their rejection of the bill during the 6th administration. So now the caution, what the IFP is doing, as you saw in the Bella Act, whenever the president wants to sign bills into law which were passed during the 6th administration, the situation is no longer the same. There must be an engagement so that there is a buy-in of the partners in the GNU, because it will not be good if we are asked by the public, what is your take of the Expropriation Act? We will maintain our position that we did not support it in the 6th administration. We still do not support it because we feel it is not sufficient to give justice in the pursuit of giving land to the landless people.
Would you then possibly be joining the legal actions that are being threatened around it?
Clearinghouse in the GNU, that will be our first stop in dealing with this matter. Because we believe we really should have handle matters in a very responsible way, because we are dealing with a country, we are dealing with people. It is good to take each other on board, especially on issues where there was no unanimity during the 6th administration and try to find a common ground when these things happen in the 7th administration, because they do not have the mandate of the 7th administration, but the 6th administration.
All right, let's see then what becomes the decision of this clearinghouse mechanism, and how then do you begin to resolve this particular one. But thank you so much for indulging us there, Minister. Appreciate your time. That's the COGTA Minister Velenkosini Hlabisa. Let's take a short break. Remember, this is also our question tonight, so keen to still hear from you.